Hi guys, and welcome to TechFurb. Today is a interesting content piece. We have a video that I wasn't expecting to do, but in where I am now, I'm actually happy I get to do it. So my RX480 graphics card is overheating, and we're going to have to make a warranty claim on it. So let's get into that. Okay, so today's video is actually meant to be an investigation on how the RX480 is holding up in 2019 as a gaming graphics card at 1080p and 1080p ultra-wide. Unfortunately, I don't get to do that content piece, and the content piece I get to do is, let's see if we can RMA it. So, I'll give you the backstory. Basically, I got this card in 2017, around April, when I built my Ryzen 7 system. I wanted to go with the RX480. It was the best graphics card that AMD had at the time. And the reason why I didn't go with the GTX 1060 was purely because AMD was doing good things with Ryzen. I want to throw on a bit of R&D money to keep them afloat, because if AMD disappears, we are kind of screwed, because they're very important for competition, which means pricing should be going down. And you know, the consequences that we're seeing now with the NVIDIA graphics cards being so expensive is because AMD is just simply not there to give an answer. They did release the Radeon 7, they announced that it hasn't come out for purchase yet. But I'm going to be honest, that GPU does kind of look like another RTX 2080 for the same price. So yeah, competition's not great there. Unfortunately, that's because AMD made a fantastic decision to go with 16 gigs of HBM2, which is really freaking expensive, which means the graphics card has to be really freaking expensive to cover the costs of making it. So anyway, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother video. Basically, I'm going to try and get this RMA'd through Computer Alliance here in Brisbane. Now, I've had one warranty claim with them before. It was on a Corsair H60 AIO, specifically the one that I actually use on my test bench. And they were great about that. I walked in, I gave them the AIO, I said, look, I bought this like 3 days ago, I plugged it in, my system's not being cool properly, I think the pump has failed in it, and the pump was failed in it. The guy went, okay, cool. He's like, can you come back tomorrow? And I'm like, I really can't, because I live a long way away from here. And he's like, that's okay. He went off, tested it, and he's like, yeah, I can't feel this pumping, that's fine. Here's a replacement, there you go. No problems. And that was it. It was great. Fantastic experience. Unlike other companies that I've had to deal with, I won't name names because it's not them featured in this video. But I have had disappointing RMA experiences with other companies here in Brisbane. Anyway, so we're about to make friends or enemies with Computer Alliance. I've done my due diligence with this system, and I'll show you the issue, basically, so you guys know what's going on with it. So, let me put my password in. Okay, so we've got the application up here. Now, how I can get it to break very quickly is to run Furmark. So we're just going to run the GPU stress test. Now, obviously it does still do it in games. As I said, or I may not have said at the start of the video, but when I was trying to do the original RX480 review, I got to the second game, ran the benchmark, and the system just kind of went, I'm out. And anyway, I got to the point where I'm at now. This is not the system I was benchmarking in. This is actually a system with an i7-2600 in it. And this is the system that I actually used when I was doing the rally videos down in Coffs. I basically pulled the graphics card out of my system, put it on my open air test bench, and it didn't shut down. It did thermal throttle heavily, but it didn't shut down like it did my Cooler Master case. So I thought, hang on. Open air test bench, this is like the perfect scenario. The fan was running, there was like every possible cooling option available to it. The only thing that was missing was probably an air conditioned room at 23 degrees. So I whacked it in this chassis because I wanted to validate it's definitely not the motherboard, it's definitely not the power supply. Chuck it straight in here, and this is what happens when you stress the GPU. You ready? We're at stock clocks, that's the temperature. That's the speed of the graphics card. We're not even running at the stock AMD settings. We're already thermal throttling. We're at 1082 megahertz. Look at that, temperature 89C. As soon as that hits 95C, it's going to cut out. And if we give it a moment or two, it will get there. There we go, it's up to 90 now. Clock speed's down to 967 megahertz. Oh, we're up to 91 degrees. We're getting a warning. Your GPU's exceeded its temperature threshold limits. everything's going crazy, everything's wrong. We're now down to dropping down to 600, it's boosting back up, and this thing is going to go in a couple of seconds, any second now, up to 92 degrees, still trying to GPU boost, drop down to 800 megahertz, 89 degrees, 93 degrees, 84 degrees, 90 degrees. You can see where this is going. It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And, oh look, we're thermal throttled. There we go. Right, that's the issue. It overheats after, what was that, like 30 or 40 seconds of stress, which is not good. Now, I did actually roll back to an older version of the driver, and basically it would not go over 90 degrees because it was thermal throttling the card so hard that it was running at like 600 megahertz. Now, for reference, the RX480 should be running at a stock frequency of about 1200 and something megahertz, and then it will thermal throttle down to about 1100 or 1000 worst case scenario, but it shouldn't be thermally shutting down like this. So, given that we've now had this in a second system, the issue persists, it's a different power supply, it's a different motherboard, it's not in the same CPU manufacturer, it's an Intel system this time, and it was previously in an AMD system. This is definitely thermal throttling. I definitely have to RMA it. I can't do my review on it because even if I, limit the power and get the thing to run, we're not going to get a real world RX80 performance. So, yeah. Let's jump in the car, let's drive to Computer Alliance, and let's see how the RMA process goes for this. Alright guys, so we're at the front of Computer Alliance now. Now I'm probably not going to take the camera in, just out of respect for those guys. I don't want to get any of them in trouble for doing their job. So yeah, we'll go in, hopefully we'll get the warranty replacement or a credit or something, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But yeah, let's see if we can get our RX480 replaced under warranty like it should be. That went pretty well. We got to wait for ASUS to basically diagnose and determine whether they want to credit replace or what they want to do with it. But yeah, the guy was super awesome. Went in there, gave him my card, told him what was happening, and he's like, yeah, no problems, put it in the system, and they're going to send it off, no questions asked. So yeah, I guess we'll come back to this video in a couple of weeks when the card comes back. Alright guys, so the graphics card is now back. It was repaired. It was actually the original card, so they haven't given me a, swapped me out and given me a different one they had sitting in stock. It is the original card. I know that because there is still a dent where there used to be a dent in the heatsink. There's a small little blemish in it. Nothing that affects the performance, all cosmetic. So they repaired the card. I believe they repasted it. They didn't really say anything. So process was basically took the card to Computer Alliance, as you saw at the start of the video. Computer Alliance then confirmed that I was not a lunatic and that it is indeed overheating. Once they confirmed that, they sent it off to ASUS. And ASUS did something unbeknownst to us. They hadn't documented it. They just fixed it and sent it back. My guess is they took apart the cooler, repasted it, put it back together, and then shipped it back, hoping it would work. And it did. So Computer Alliance tested it. They said it was getting about 75 degrees under full load, which is fantastic for an RX480, especially since this card never got as low as 75 degrees. I think when it was brand new, it was getting around the 80s mark, but yeah, never got that low. So potentially I had an issue since I got the card, but doesn't matter now. It's fixed anyway. So we'll power this guy up. We will check if it is indeed working, and then I'll give you guys a little summary before we close out the video. Alright guys, so Firmac is running there, and I can confirm that 67 degrees when it's been loaded up for a full minute, but it doesn't look like it's skyrocketing, so it looks like we're probably going to top out, like they said, at that 75 degree mark, which is fantastic. We are hitting a clock speed of around 1100 megahertz, just below it, so that's exactly what I'd expect from a RX480 in its stock form. I could grab the power slider and rip it right to 150%, and then it would just go to its maximum boost clock the entire time. But we're not going to do that because the entire purpose of getting it repaired was to just make sure that it works at its stock settings, not in an overclocked state. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and I'm going to have some real talk with you guys as well, because if you're watching this video, it's either A, because you follow the channel and you're interested in my content, B, you don't follow the channel but you're interested in this video, or C, you are having this problem. So if you're in the C category, or perhaps the B category, I'll give you a lowdown. So if you are having issues with your graphics card, what you should be doing is validate that it is actually the graphics card that's broken. In my case, what I did was I know what the maximum temperature that that card can run at. And I basically ran up Firmark like I am now and had the monitoring software sitting on the to the side where I could watch it, and I basically watched the temperatures go above 90 degrees. Now the maximum threshold for this card is around 95 degrees, and I watched it get very close to 95 degrees, and then all of a sudden the system would power off. So for me, that was confirming that the graphic card was indeed stuffed. I also validated by taking it out of the original system, putting it into a second system. You may not have that option, but for me, I did have that option, so I did it, was able to replicate the issue, and that meant that I could confidently walk into Computer Alliance and go, this is broken, please fix, this is why it's broken, this is how it happens. And there was no questions asked by them when they took the card off me. They just took it and they said, yeah, cool, you seem like you know what you're talking about. And when I had a look through the job notes once I got the card back, it was basically they went in, popped it on the open test bench and confirmed 100% that I wasn't lying, that it is indeed thermal throttling and then powering off. They sent it off to ASUS. ASUS repaired the card, came back. I had absolutely no issues in this. I literally took it to the store, said it's broken, showed up 4 weeks later, and mind you, it was ready 3 weeks later, but I had about a week of not having time to actually go to the store and pick it up. So when I did pick it up, was no questions asked. It was literally they just gave me the card. No money was changed. The card just magically started working after I dropped it off. So great experience for me. But yeah, make sure you guys. For you guys watching at home, make sure that you validate that the part is actually broken before you take it in for warranty. Because if you don't, you're not going to have the experience I had. You're going to get stuffed around. It's going to cost you money. Probably a fair bit of money too, because their servicing of most computer shops is not cheap. So yeah, make sure you test your gear, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a dislike if you disliked it. Comments down below if you've got any questions for me or if you have any feedback about the content. And hit the bell notification if you wish to also get notified whenever I upload a new video. I try and upload them once a week, usually on the Sunday or the Saturday. This is in Australia, so if you're in America, the Friday or the Saturday for you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.